Hello, and welcome to Foundations for Algebra, Unit 2A, Lesson 3. Today's objective is scholars will solve two-step equations. Two-step equations. So our first question, what is a two-step equation? Well, it is an equation with two operations. So operations are just plus, minus, times, or division. Those are our operations. So for example, we have this equation right here that has two operations. We have 4y minus 2 equals negative 6. In this case, we are multiplying by 4 and multiplying by 4 and then subtracting 2. Or over here, you see x plus 3 divided by 7. In that case, we're adding 3 and then dividing by 7. Okay, so let's look at how we solve these. So firstly, we're going to follow the same method that we did on our one-step equations. First thing we have to do is find out what is happening to the variable. The order is very important. So when you're thinking of the order, think if I knew what y was, what would I do first? That's how you determine your order. So in this case, first I would multiply times 4, then I would subtract 2. Then you answer what is the inverse or the opposite. And again, you're checking your order. So I'll go over exactly how we do that, but please make sure the order is extremely important. Finally, you're going to use the same properties as when you solve the one-step equations. So we're still going to be using APE, SPE, MPE, and DPE, as well as our CLT. If you don't remember what those are, please go back and watch lessons 1 and 2. So let's try this. So we already said what was happening in this is that we are multiplying times 4 and then subtracting 2. Now, when we do the opposite, we're going to start with the second thing. So the opposite of minus 2 is plus 2. The opposite of times 4 is then dividing by 4. So we're going to do them in that order. So the first thing I'm going to do is add 2. So I'm going to do APE 2. So I have 4y minus 2 plus 2 equals negative 6 plus 2. On my next line, also let me real quick, I'm going to highlight what I'm going to combine. So when I got to my next line, I'm going to combine the minus 2 plus 2. We know those are going to cancel. But I'm also going to combine the negative 6 and the positive 2. So my next line is going to read 4y equals, because remember the negative 2 plus 2 goes away, negative 6 plus 2 gives me negative 4. And that was my combining like terms. Okay, so now I've done that. My next step is dividing by 2. I'm going to use my division property of equality, dividing by 4. Division property of equality to divide by 4. So I have 4y divided by 4 equals negative 4 divided by 4. So once again, I'm going to highlight the things that are going to go together. Divided by 4 and times 4 give me just y. Undo that. Sorry. Gives me just y down here equals. On the other side, I'm going to combine or divide these. Negative 4 divided by 4 gives me negative 1. And remember, we call that simplifying when we multiply and divide things. So that's my answer. Y equals negative 1. Again, I can put it back into my original problem if I want to check it. So I have 4 times negative 1 minus 2 equals negative 6. Well, 4 times negative 1 is just negative 4 minus 2 equals negative 6. That is correct. Let's try another one. So, first, what is happening here? If I look at this equation, I see I have x plus 3 divided by 7. If I knew what x was, I would add 3 first. So that's the first thing I'm going to write over there. What's happening? I'm adding 3. And then I see that I divide by 7. Then I divide by 7. So when I write my inverse, the opposite of divided by 7 is times 7. The opposite of adding 3 is minus 3. So the first thing we do is multiply times 7. So I have 7 times x plus 3 divided by 7 equals 7 times negative 2. And this is my multiplication property of equality. I multiplied by 7. So this 7 and this 7 are combined to go away. And then I'm going to multiply the 7 times negative 2. So on the left side, I'm left with x plus 3 equals 7 times negative 2 is negative 14. And again, that was simplifying. My next line, I'm going to be subtracting 3. So I'm using my subtraction property of equality to subtract 3. So I have x plus 3 minus 3 equals negative 14 minus 3. Again, I can see that I will combine the plus 3 and the minus 3 over there, and I will combine negative 14 and negative 3 over here. So I'm left with x equals negative 17 when I combine my like terms. Okay, 2 more quick practice problems, and then you'll have some to do on. So, here, notice the a is on the other side. Remember, it does not matter. If I knew what a was, first I am dividing by 4. Then I am adding 2. So my opposite is going to be minus 2 times 4. Remember, we're doing the opposite order. So first thing we're going to do is subtract 2 from both sides using our subtraction property of equality. So I have 6 minus 2 equals a divided by 4 plus 2 minus 2. I'm going to combine the 6 minus 2 and the plus 2 and minus 2. So 6 minus 2 gives me 4 equals, now I'm left over here with this a divided by 4 when I combine my like terms. So that took care of my minus 2. Now I'm going to multiply both sides by 4, mpe4. So I have 4 times 4 equals a divided by 4 times 4. Again, the things that are going to cancel or be multiplied are 4 times 4 and divided by 4 times 4, which will leave me 4 times 4 is 16 equals, and over here I'm left with a. And that is simplifying. Okay, last problem. What's happening? I'm multiplying by 9, and then I'm subtracting 7. My inverse is going to be adding 7 and then dividing by 9. So pause the video now and see if you can do this, and then check at the end. Okay, hopefully you paused it and you were able to see we get a value of x equals 0. I showed all my work in case you have questions. Okay, go ahead and try the work that you have, and I will see you all in class.